Hello and welcome to Freeway Pro. Before we get started, let's have a quick look at Freeway. When you start Freeway, you will be shown the new document window. A selection of templates is presented to you. Any one of these will give you a good head start. For this demonstration, I'm going to use the blank template. This gives us an empty site to work on. Click OK and give the site a name. Click Save to create your Freeway project. Before we start on the site, let's have a quick look at the Freeway Interface. At the top of the window, we have the toolbar. There are select and zoom tools, as well as tools that let you draw and manipulate items on the page. To the left is the site pane. This shows you how the site is structured and gives you access to all the pages in the site. Over to the right is the inspector palette. Its contents will change depending on what you are doing. And below that is the styles palette. I want to add some graphics and text that will be common to the whole website. The best way to do this is to use the master page. When you click on the master page in the site pane, you will notice that the rulers change yellow. This tells you that you are working on a master page. Anything I do on this page will be reflected on all the pages in the site. I'm going to change the width of the page to 800 pixels and I'll align it centrally in the browser. I'm now going to give the page a background image. I'll select the image I want in the filer window that opens. I've put these images in the media folder already. I want this to be centered horizontally and to tile vertically. If we go back to the child page, we will see that this background has been set there too. Back to the master page. I'm going to make a header, so I'll draw out an HTML box. I want it to be positioned right to the top left of the page and to be the full width of the page. I want an exact height, so I'll use the inspector palette to set this. The box is going to have a background image too, so I'll select an image using the same method as before. I'm going to import the site's logo. First, I'll use the graphic tool to draw a graphic box at the top of the page. I'll set the dimensions to 175 pixels for the width and height in the inspector palette, and I'll just nudge it to the right place using the cursor keys. With the graphic box selected, I'll go to the import option in the file menu and import the logo image. This is an Illustrator file. The logo is a bit bigger than the box, but if I right click on the image, I can use scale and pad in the contextual menu to make it fit. I'm going to use the inspector palette to output the image as a PNG file. I can choose JPEG, GIF or PNG as the image's file format if I want. I can also set various output options. For the PNG file, I'm choosing millions of colours to preserve the transparency of the image. Another thing we can do with the graphic tool is to create graphic text. I'm going to draw out another graphic box. In that box, I'm going to type the name of the site. Using the inspector palette, I'm going to make this text 60 pixels high. Because this is graphic text, I can use any font I have on my machine. For this site, I'm going to use Johnston Bold Small Capitals. I'll also set the colour of the type to be white. This type will be output as a graphic file, but it remains fully editable from within Freeway and can be changed and run through the spell checker. Let's go to the child page. Using the inspector palette, I'll give the page a more meaningful title. I'll now add some HTML text. Using the HTML tool, I'll draw an HTML text box on the page. I already have some text I've created in Pages, so I'll select that and copy it. Return to Freeway and paste it into the HTML text box. I'm now going to change the headings. I choose the Weather Dynamics text and in the Styles palette select the H1 style. I'll do the same to the iPhone announcement as well. At the moment there is no font defined. I'm going to change this in the Inspector palette. Because this is HTML text, we have a smaller amount of fonts from which to choose. This is because the fonts used to display this text will be on the client machine, not yours. I'm going to choose Verdana. I want to make some text stand out a bit more. I'll select the words low carbon and click on the EM style. This makes the text italic. I'll select the first sentence in the second paragraph and apply the strong style, and this makes the text bold. Before we go any further, let's see what the site looks like. We can use Freeway's preview tool for this. Click on the preview button. Freeway will show the page using WebKit, which is the same view as you would get if you use Safari. This gives us a pretty good idea of how the site will look in a browser. Let's go back to Freeway's design view. I have a couple of images that I want to place on this page. I'll use the graphic tool to draw out a graphic box. I'll now go to the import option in the file menu and import a photograph. This happens to be a Photoshop file. It's a very large image, and if I right click and select Scale and Pad from the contextual menu, Freeway will fit the image to the box. And if I right click on the box again and choose Fit Box to Content from the contextual menu, the box will snap to the image's dimensions. Holding down the Shift and Option keys while dragging the corner of the image will scale the picture. I'm going to crop this image a bit by dragging the bottom handle up. I'll also move the image inside the box with this grab handle. I'm now going to import another Photoshop image. I'll draw out another graphic box, and again using the Import menu item, I'll import the iPhone mock-up image. I'm going to scale and pad the image to the box and fit the box to the image itself. And I'm going to scale it up a little bit too. Now I'm going to use the Rotate tool to rotate the image. You'll notice that Freeway has drawn a box around both the pictures. This tells us that Freeway will combine both the pictures into one when the site is published. The image will be output in a web-ready format. Freeway will use the image's transparency to composite the two images together. You can use the Inspector palette to set the format of the composited image. The thing that holds websites together is links. I'm going to add some to this site. First, I'll return to the master page. I'm now going to switch the CSS button on and draw out a layered HTML item. Then I'll type in the navigation headings for the site. I'll select all the text in the box and make it Verdana, and I'll make the text 18 pixels high and make it white. To apply the link to some text, you first need to select the text you want to be the link. Now I'll drag the home page in the site pane to the link well at the bottom of the window. The link is now set up, but it's blue and doesn't show up too well. So I'll select the box that contains the link and use the Item Appearance Settings tab of the Inspector palette to change the link colours to something more visible. You can also apply links to graphics, and I'd like the logo to link back to the home page. I'll select the graphic and again drag the page from the site pane to the link well. I want to create a products page, but we don't have one at the moment. Select the word products, go to the hyperlinks option in the edit menu, and in the dialog that opens up, click the new button. In the window that opens, type in the name of the new page. Click OK on both the windows that have opened up, and you'll see that a new page has been created, and the products link will be set up. If we look at the products page, we will see that it has all the master page elements on it already. I'll go back to the home page and select the text that says, "Find out more about this exciting app here." I'll link that to the products page as well. Let's make sure that the site works in the browser. Go to the Preview in Browser option in the File menu. There is a choice of browsers to use. I'm going to choose Safari. Freeway builds the site and will open it in the browser. All the elements we built are on the page. If I click on Products, we will be taken to the Products page. Clicking on the logo will take us back to the home page. When you are happy with the site, it's time to upload it to a server. Go to the Upload option in the File menu. The Upload window will open with a number of options. You can use FTP. You will need information from your hosting company to fill in the details in this window. You can also use your MobileMe account if you have one. Just enter your member name and password. If your machine is connected directly to the server, or the site is going to be hosted on a mounted volume, you can use the File Copy option. When you first upload the site, Freeway will send all the files to the server. After that, it will only upload those files that have changed. This concludes our introduction to Freeway Pro. What you have been shown in this video should be enough to get you started on making great websites with Freeway. There is a lot more information on using Freeway. Just visit www.softpress.com and follow the links to support, where there are more video tutorials, manuals and links to freewaytalk.net and our very own help desk. Have fun using Freeway.